Howdy folks, Charlie here from Christmas on Crestline. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for tuning in to a convention episode. That's right, we're going to talk about all things Transworld. We were there for 5 days, all 5 days. We're going to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, what we were okay with, and what we really loved. We're going to talk about it all, give you some tips of what you should do when you go, what to look out for. We're going to talk about that right now. If you're new to the channel, never watched one of the episodes before, and you kind of want to jump around, you can hover over the timeline and I'll show you what I'm talking about at that moment. Gotta say shout out to all my Patreon supporters. They're the reason why we're at Transworld. That was our very first ever goal. Like, hey, you help us hit this dollar amount and we'll get our butts to a Christmas convention. We did that this year because we hit our Patreon goal, our first one ever. So now we're going to be building and going more forward into the future. And our Patreon supporters got an episode every day we were at. They got an update every day we were at Transworld. So shout out to you folks. If you're curious about us and want to support the show, go to patreon.com, type in Christmas on Crestline, and you can see all the videos that we filmed while we were at Transworld that have already been released. Transworld, what advice do I have? First of all, what is it? Well, it is a 3-tier convention. It is a Halloween and haunt attraction. If you go to a Halloween show, you pay the $30, you spend the 45 minutes walking through it, odds are the folks who throw that on, who put that together, were at the convention there with me this week. Christmas show. All the who's who in the industry are there. Ron Howard was there. Boscoyo was there. Twinkly was there. All the big players are there. It's just kind of neat. It's retail geared more towards, well, your hobbyists, as well as your municipalities, your corporations. It's everybody from those who are going to spend $100 to those that were going to spend $100,000 on their show. We're all there for the Christmas side. Escape rooms. If you go to escape rooms, odds are the owner or whoever throws your escape room on has been to Transworld or was there with us as well. So what did we really like about Transworld? The registration process is very unique and very thorough. So what do you expect when you come to Transworld? The first thing you have to do is register. So when you come in here, you're going to go to one of these booths over here. They're going to take your name. They're going to scan you in. And you get one of these handy dandy little bracelets. Different colors mean different things. For this year, Christmas is purple. There's escape rooms. There's Halloween. There's all sorts of different things you can get. But you do leave these bracelets on the entire time you're here. So for us, it's going to be 4 days. They do not come off. So you're sharing with them. You're eating with them. You're doing everything with them. You lose this, there is no refunds. You're going to have to buy a new bracelet all over again, which is full price. So you want to make sure you hang on to this and have them put that on there nice and professional like for you. But the first thing you do when you come to Transworld, if you're going to take any classes or if you want to get in to see any of the vendor booths, you do have to come in here and register. Yesterday this line was packed. We came here the day before this all started on Cinco de Mayo. We were here on Wednesday and we got right on in, kind of what it looks like right now. Today is Friday. But yesterday, Thursday, the first day of the conference, this was wall-to-wall packed. So if you're going to come to Transworld, I recommend getting here the day before or getting here really early if you're going to get here on the day of, because it was a long line. They are very proficient. It does go quickly, but it is a long line. So that's the first step you do when you come to Transworld to take anything. Is you got to get in line and you got to register and you got to check in. So that's it for this. We got there on Wednesday. We went right in. Took us 15 minutes to get registered, get our tickets, get our bracelet, lanyard and bracelet. No problem. Thursday though, our classes started at 9. There are some people in line. Took them about 45 minutes to get through the line. They got there, they're already late for a class. If you have a 9 o'clock class and you're not getting there to that morning of, get your butt in line quickly, because you've got to get this before you can get your before you can get in and do anything. You got to get that. You don't get that, you don't get in the classroom. They have not a guard, but a attendee that scans you and allows you in the class. We're here at Transworld today. Today it's all about classroom time this morning. Here in about an hour, this place is gonna get packed. This is where you go and you have your classes. Today I'm taking 3 classes. My wife, Jean, is taking an all day 9 to 5 class on xLights. Tomorrow she'll take a 9 to 1, finishing up that 12-hour course tomorrow. But this is where you come for all your meeting rooms. Today I'll be over here in room 260. You show up the white table, they scan in your credentials, and then you take your course for the day. Today one of the things I'm excited about today is taking a course with Ron Howard from Extreme Sequences. He's one of the other Christmas tubers out there. But this, I thought I'd show you just what the classrooms kind of look like. So, we were lucky enough, they gave us a press pass, so we were allowed to film on the floor.
I'm gonna do the magic.
We're gonna, between now and the end of July, for our Christmas in July extravaganza series, and our patrons have already seen some of this, we're gonna have a ton of video coming out. I believe we have 200 hours of footage that we're gonna be diving up. And the entire time I'm talking, you'll be seeing today, you'll be seeing video of the floor. Kind of what it looks like, some behind the scenes stuff, and some snippets of some different interviews. Kind of neat stuff. What did I not like at all? The separation of the shows. I went in, I had an interview scheduled, I could not find, the first day I was there, I could not find the Christmas show. The place is huge. I think Mall of America, huge. This is where the used to be the St. Louis Rams played. I couldn't find the Christmas display. They were separated and they were actually in the football stadium versus in the convention center. So I was looking for them in the convention center, they weren't there. So that was awkward. And talking to Transworld about that, they didn't like it either. That was what America Center mandated that they do. They wanted everything separate due to COVID issues, which, whatever. So I didn't like that as well. Something else that was unique, my wife took xLights class. Tip for you if you're gonna take the xLights class. 12-hour course, $300. She says well worth it. She went in completely ignorant. She comes out able to program a song in their software. She and I talked. We paid $300 for it. It'd have been well worth $500 if there was a lab portion of xLights. She knows the software, but does not know any of the hardware.
Well, I was finishing the second half of my xLights programming class.
Okay.
What they did today is they actually sent some data to some of the props that they had brought.
All right.
And so I got to see some twinkle things. Some little things.
Things lit up.
Right. I did not do it myself. I watched them do it. What I would have liked to have happen was us to have a lab maybe the second day where I actually programmed my own sequence, maybe something, you know, just something small, and sent it to some prop and watched it and do it something that I did myself. But you know,
so
put that in the suggestion box.
So to you, it would have been worth to have it. If they would have came to you and said, we can have a lab, but it's going to be another 4 hours. So you have 95 yesterday. Today you had a 91, but say they made that a 95 again today, would it have been worth it?
To me, yes, because that's the part that I am more ignorant, I guess, on, is the hardware part of it. Being able to, what is it that I need in order to get the data from my laptop to the prop to see it do something.
And Patreon folks have already seen this video of her talking about this. Had both days 9 to 5 and that like a 4-hour lab. Okay, here's the software, here's how that goes into hardware, here's that goes to your lights. Just a little 4-hour lab, and that would have made all the difference in the world. She was a huge fan of the class, says it was worth the $300. We would have rather have paid more and had a lab portion as well. So I know that's a course that's also being taught at Christmas Expo coming up. I believe Ron Howard's teaching that from Extreme Sequences. I talked to him a little bit at the show. I believe he's going to be teaching that at the expo. So just a suggestion to you folks to add a lab, or maybe add that as a secondary class, with the first 12-hour class being a prerequisite to take that lab. Just a thought. Something I would very much like to see change at Transworld. T-shirts, awesome, very affordable. $20 for a t-shirt, $20 for a hat. Cool. You know what? I'm a Christmas show, not a Halloween show. They had 3 different Halloween options, 0 Christmas options, and 0 escape room options. So there's 3 of us there at the show, folks. How about you give 3 of us a t-shirt? So that's my only complaint about the merchandise. It started selling out Friday. So by Saturday, they still had some things left, and they had a ton. They had water bottles, they had koozies, they had a couple different styles of hats, they had beanies, they had a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, very affordable, $20. Don't mind. I would have paid more. I don't mind paying that. Something else they did very nice. They are very, very well organized. This is their Christmas catalog of the different seminars that they have. They have a ton of seminars. I took 8 classes. Gene took one 12-hour course, and they also have that separated from, they got a Christmas one, and then they got the Halloween and escape room one. They're very well organized, folks. They have a ton of seminars. And really, in addition to this, they also have CLIPA, Christmas Light Installer Professional Association. If you hire somebody to do Christmas lights on your house to hang them for you, make sure that they are CLIPA certified. Think of it kind of like the AAA or the Better Business Bureau of Christmas light hangers. You want your plumber to be certified in plumbing. CLIPA is the one. I think it's an 80-hour course to be certified, but they do a ton of training. They do regional training. They do training at the expo, at the Transworld. They also have regional training, I believe, every 2 weeks in different areas. So yeah, shout out to CLIPA, folks. Extremely accommodated. Loved everything about CLIPA. So advice: if you're going, you want to get on the showroom floor. It opens at 10. Folks were lined up at 9, about 10 people deep. By 10 o'clock when it opened, 1,500 to 2,000 people in line. You want to get there early, cool. If you want to be the first one there, awesome. If that's what you're into, cool. Wait there for the 90 minutes or however long to get in. But I'm telling you right now, at 10:30, I was able to walk right in without ever pausing. So just a natural walk. There's still a ton of people in line, but it flowed very nicely. So tip for you, don't be in a rush to get there unless you're just someone who wants to be there early. Then more power to you. Get there 30 minutes after it already opens and you can get right on in. Something I liked about Transworld is we were there for all 5 days. Sunday, 2 o'clock, was time for the showroom floor to be torn down. 90% of the booths were still intact at 2 o'clock on Sunday. There's a $500 fine if you have a booth there and you tear down and leave early prior to 2 o'clock. They fine you $500 as part of their contract. 90% of the people, 85 to 90% of the people were still up at 2 o'clock. I very much appreciate that. I know I was there for 5 days, and this is $70. So you have people who are paying and expect you to still be up. Most were. My time, this was very much a business trip for me. I didn't have a whole lot of time to socialize. Just because we were doing so many classes and doing so much filming. But I appreciate those that had their booths up till 2 o'clock on Sunday, because it gave me time to see a lot more people. So thank you very much, you vendors who stayed up the entire time. It's appreciated, just so you know. Let's see, the last thing I did not like, the VIP booth was very elaborate, pixels everywhere, giant pixel matrix. That's 300, I think it's 315 for it. You get 3 classes, which if you buy them there have a $150 value. There wasn't anything there that added $165 more value. I very much wanted to buy a VIP option. You do get the opportunity to sit in the front rows. Those are marked off for VIP. The problem was I took 8 classes. I think that the most attended class had like 14 people in it. So no reason to buy the VIP. You get in line early on the booths. So if you want to get there at 9, you have a VIP badge, you'll get right in at 10. So that might be worth it to you. And I talked to some folks who set the VIP area up, and they agreed, because I asked them, hey, I got to be missing something. It's $150 if you buy the classes here for 3 classes. There's a $150 value because you get 3 classes in addition to, you buy a VIP badge and you get 3 classes for free. They said, yeah, there really is no value. We really need a separate game up on that. So yeah, there you go. So hopefully next year you buy a VIP badge and you get 6 classes or 7 even. Shoot, that'd be worth it right there. Even 5 and free pop or something the whole time. I don't know. So I would very much appreciate them to work on that. That's the only thing I thought they have there that just didn't live up to the hype. The biggest surprise I had by far was the size of Halloween to the size of Christmas. For not exaggeration, for every 100 people that were there for Halloween, there was one there for maybe 1.5 there for Christmas. It was Halloween dominant. Gene, why are you dragging me?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
I want to go back to the Christmas side.
Is it too scary for you?
Yes.
Gene was recently scared by a 10-year-old in a costume dragging a machete. Do you need a machete?
No.
Okay.
It's following me somewhere.
Halloween dominant, and I think there was more for Christmas than there was for the escape room by far too. I think that's probably a 5-to-1. So I was very surprised about that. If you've never been to Transworld and you're a haunter, get your butt to Transworld. You could spend days there. I know I did, and I didn't see everything. I spent 5 days there, and I didn't see everything. There were some booths there that were missing this year that weren't there. I very much wanted some Cold Sparks people to be there, the Sparktacular folks or people along those lines. I wanted more DMX there than what there was. But yeah, I wanted more fake snow people there than what there was. So there's tons of people there. There's also still tons of people that were missing. But it was a huge show. Over 400 vendors were there. That's a ton, folks. That's a ton. So yeah, if you've ever been to Transworld, let us know. Leave a comment down below about what your biggest piece of advice or your funnest thing there that you've ever done there is. If you've never been to Transworld, what's the one thing you're curious about? What is the one thing you would like to see there? Let us know down in the comments below as well. That's about it for me today, folks. I've shown you a ton of video from there. Hopefully you have some comments for us, some suggestions, some tidbits, some advice. Hopefully you'll say something to us that will make us dive into this conversation even more. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. Hit that notification bell because over the next 12 weeks we'll be releasing a ton of video, especially for our Christmas in July extravaganza series. Patreon folks, thank you so much for your support. We're going to announce our new goal coming out in just a few weeks. Well, that'll be one of our new goal will be one of our first things we do for the Christmas in July extravaganza series. So be watching out for that. Kind of interesting. That's about it for me today, guys. I'm Charlie, and I'll see you in the next video.
Rum bum